Hi friends! So I am at my house today. I am not in Spartan Station. Spartan Station is still getting cleaned super good. So if and when we go back, it will be so clean, no germs for us. Me and Miss Megan usually do reading time, but we are going to be doing it at our own houses this time so that we don't get germs anywhere. But this week is farm week. So we are going to be reading a bunch of farm books. I'm going to be reading some books, and then Miss Megan is going to have her own video as well that you guys can go watch. So if you haven't watched Miss Megan's video, you can watch it after this, or maybe you've already watched it and now you're watching mine. So we're going to read a few books about the farm because this week we're learning about farm week. This is called Cock-a-Doodle Who. One stormy night, an owl walked into a farmyard. He was cold, lost, and lonely, with no place to go. So he squeezed through a hole in a shed. It was warm and cozy in there, and he fell fast asleep. In the morning, Owl woke to a nip and a pinch. He heard clucking and squawking. He was surrounded by bony feet and beady eyes. He was in a hen house. He's no hen. Who? He's no rooster. We need a rooster. We could give him a try. What a shame. All of the hens are freaking out because they don't know he's not a hen. He's not a chicken like they are. He's a different kind of bird. Can he peck like a rooster? Said the bossy hen. Owl tried to peck. Can he scratch like a rooster? Owl tried to scratch. Can he cock-a-doodle-doo like a rooster? Owl tried to cock-a-doodle-doo. The hens awarded him no points for pecking, no points for scratching, and no points for cock-a-doodle-dooing. What a clown! What a loser! That's not very nice. Hoo, cried Owl sadly. He liked the warm, cozy hen house and the yard dappled with spring sunshine. The speckled hen put her bony wings around him. I'll teach you how to be a rooster, she clucked. So that one's being nice. The other ones weren't being very nice to him. And she did. Owl learned how to march up and down, guard the hen house, and puff out his feathers. He was doing very well. Until the other hen said, "Try and cock-a-doodle-doo." Owl tried very hard. He tried his best, but he was an owl after all, and he just hooted like an owl. Hoo! The other hens were not impressed. Goggle eyes, a rooster must cock-a-doodle. All he does is hoot. What sort of an egg did you hatch out of? A square one? So they're still not being very nice to him. Owl got cross. He had enough. He was hungry and he was fed up with the silly hens. So he said, I'm an owl, not a fowl. Owls aren't hens. We hoot in the moonlight. We don't peck corn. We catch. Rats, squawked a hen, peering into the hen house. A rat is in our hen house. Oh no. The rat was stealing eggs, stealing corn, chasing chicks. When Owl heard this, he pricked up his ear tufts, he flexed his sharp claws, and stretched his soft wings. Then silently as a floating feather, he flew across the hen house. What do you think he's going to do? Snip, snap, he caught that rat and gobbled it up. The rat was tasty and delicious. The hens were speechless. They fussed around Owl in a flurry of feathers and clucks. He ate the rat. Interesting. And Owl puffed out his chest with a swagger and shouted, Cock-a-doodle-doo! Our very own rooster, our beautiful goggle-eyed rooster, our hero, our rat-catching owl. Then they are all happy. Sometimes rats can get into chicken coops and they peck the eggs or they bug the chickens, and so rats aren't good for chickens. Okay, let's do this one. This one is called At the Farm and it has a pig on the front. A pig is one of my favorite farm animals. Who has woolly curls all over its back? What farm animal has fur like that? Sheep. Sheep have thick woolly coats that help keep them warm in the winter. In spring, the farmer cuts the sheep's wool. It can be made into sweaters and coats and help keep you warm in the winter too. Would you believe that this is a comb? It's not the kind of your comb you use on your hair. Saying that this is a comb. That's interesting. Look again. This rooster has a bright red comb on top of its head. Hens also have combs, but they are smaller. Chickens recognize each other by their combs. Heat escapes from the combs because they are not covered with feathers. They help chickens cool off in hot weather. So that little comb on top of him, that is called a comb. So now this one. These strong, sharp teeth belong to an animal that's meek as... What animal does that look like? A mouse. With their sturdy teeth, mice gnaw through hard seeds. They often eat the grain meant for cows, pigs, and other farm animals. Almost every farmer has barn mice. That is why many farmers also have barn cats. So cats chase the mice. This kind of horn is for butting, not for blowing. Where does this horn go to? In the wild, goats, so it belongs to a goat, fight fiercely with their horns. But in the barnyard, one goat butts another to say, hey, get out of my way. As a goat grows bigger, its horns grow bigger too. So now this one. You might ride on the back of this animal. Flies do too. Swish goes the tail. Shoo, fly, shoo. I bet some of you guys know this one. It's a horse. A horse's tail makes a great fly swatter, so does its mane. With its sharp front teeth, a horse bites off blades of grass it chews with them with its flat back teeth. Who has a flat round nose that digs into the dirt? Can you sniff out the answer? What nose does that look like? Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's a pig. Pigs root through the dirt with their noses for things to eat. They have a very good sense of smell. In hot weather, pigs wallow in the mud to cool off. So if you've seen pigs roll around in the mud, they do that so that they can keep cool. First, this is an egg cracker. Then it grows into a little quacker. We've had these at our school. Can you guess whose beak that is? What animal? We've had them before. A duckling uses its little bill to hatch out of its eggs. The bill has a sharp egg tooth. With its egg tooth, a duckling jabs at the eggshell until it cracks open. Soon the egg tooth will fall off because the duckling no longer needs it. So that's kind of like your guys' baby teeth when you start losing teeth. Ducklings, I guess, have baby teeth too. So that is the end of the Farm Animals book. Now, this book is probably my favorite. This is one of my favorite books I've ever read. Click, clack, moo, cows that type. Cows are my #1 favorite farm animal, and then pigs. Farmer Brown has a problem. His cows like to type. All day long he hears click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. At first, he couldn't believe his ears. Cows that type? Impossible. Click, clack, moo, clickety, clack, moo. Then he couldn't believe his eyes. Here's a note they wrote. Dear Farmer Brown, the barn is very cold at night. We'd like some electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows. It was bad enough the cows had found the old typewriter in the barn. Now they wanted electric blankets? No way, said Farmer Brown. No electric blankets. So the cows went on a strike. They left a note on the barn door. Sorry, we're closed. No milk today. Uh-oh. They're not going to give milk. His shadow does not look very happy. He looks "No milk today," cried Farmer Brown. In the background, he heard the cows busy at work. Click-clack moo, clickety-clack moo, clickety-clack moo. They wrote another note. The next day, he got another note. "Dear Farmer Brown, the hens are cold too. They'd like electric blankets. Sincerely, the cows." The cows were growing impatient with the farmer. They left a new note on the barn door. "No eggs!" cried Farmer Brown in the background. He heard them. Closed. No milk, no eggs. Click-clack moo, click-clack moo, clickety-clack moo. Cows that type? Hens on strike? Whoever heard of such a thing? How can I run a farm with no milks and no eggs? Farmer Brown was furious. Uh-oh. Farmer Brown got out his own typewriter. "Dear cows and hens, there will be no electric blankets. You are cows and hens. I demand milk and eggs. Sincerely, Farmer Brown." Duck was a neutral party, so he brought the ultimatum to the cows. So he's bringing the farmer's note to the cows for them to read it. The cows held an emergency meeting. All the animals gathered around the barn to snoop, but none of them could understand moo. All night long, Farmer Brown waited for an answer. Duck knocked on the door early the next morning. He handed Farmer Brown a note. "Dear Farmer Brown, we will exchange our typewriter for electric blankets. Leave them outside the barn door, and we will send Duck over with the typewriter. Sincerely, the cows." Farmer Brown decided this was a good deal. He left the blankets next to the barn door and waited for Duck to come with the typewriter. They're all cozy in their blankets. The next morning, he got a note. "Dear Farmer Brown, the pond is quite boring. We'd like a diving board. Sincerely, the ducks. Click-clack quack, click-clack quack, clickety-clack quack." A diving board. What if you saw a diving board in a pond and ducks were jumping off of it? That would be pretty silly. Okay, so I think we have time for one more. Let's do this one. This one is called What If? Something special was happening on Buttercup Farm. The farmer had brought a kangaroo and it was arriving that day. The farmyard animals had never seen a kangaroo before. What can a kangaroo do anyways, they wondered, but nobody knew. "What if she can crow?" said Rooster. "What if she gets up early every morning and crows so loudly that she wakes up the whole farm? Perhaps she would even count the hens and chicks to see if anything was missing. Then the farmer wouldn't need me anymore, and I'd have to look for another job. Cock-a-doodle-doo! I might not find one." "How dreadful," said everyone. "What if she can herd sheep?" said Dog. "What if she rounds them all up and takes them to graze on the highest and greenest hills? She might even chase a fox or two. The farmer would be so pleased with her that he'd send me to live in the kennels. Oof, I would hate that. How horrible," said everyone. All the farm animals are worried that the kangaroo is going to steal their job that they do on the farm. "What if she can catch mice?" said the cat. "What if she catches all the mice in the barn and a few rats too? Maybe even the spiders would be scared to live there. Then the farmer would get rid of me and I would become a stray. Meow, I'd miss my milk and sardines. How awful," said everyone. "What if she can give milk?" said Cow. "What if she fills up all the pails on the farm with such rich, creamy milk that everyone wants to buy it? Then nobody would want mine, and the farmer would make me pull the plow instead. Moo, I would miss my cozy stall. How appalling, said everyone. What if she can grow wool, said Sheep. What if she has thick woolly fleece that is whiter than snow and softer than silk? And maybe her coat will grow twice as fast as mine. The farmer would be so delighted that he'd only use my wool to stuff old pillows and cushions. Bah, I can't stand that. How terrible, said everyone. What if she can pull a cart, said Horse. What if she can take a cart full of fruit and vegetables to the market faster than I can? She might even give rides to the farmer's 2 children. Then there would be no place for me, and I would end up on an old horse's home. Nay, I'd miss all my friends here. How frightful, said everyone. Everyone's pretty nervous. They've never seen a kangaroo before. They were so busy worrying they didn't notice that some of the young farm animals were missing. Where are my puppies, said Dog. And my kittens, asked Cat. And my lamb, said Sheep. All the animals searched and searched, but they could not find a kitten, nor a puppy, nor a teeny lamb anywhere. They looked from the barn to the pigsty with no luck. This is dreadful, crowed Rooster. Horrible, woofed Dog. Awful, meowed Cat. Appalling, mooed Cow. Terrible, bawed Sheep. Frightful, neighed Horse. Suddenly across the field they saw a very strange animal, leaping and bounding towards them. Hello, it said, I'm Kangaroo. The animals couldn't believe their eyes. Kangaroo had a big pouch in her tummy, and in the pouch, what do you guys think is in the kangaroo's pouch? What do kangaroos put in their little pouch? There were 3 kittens, 2 puppies, and a tiny lamb. We've had so much fun going on a tour of the farm, said Kangaroo. What if I were to be their babysitter every day? What a good idea, the animals cried. And with crowing, barking, meowing, mooing, bawing, and neighing, they all welcomed Kangaroo to her new home. And they're all happy. I bet we could read one more. We have a little bit of time, and then you guys can either watch Miss Megan's video or you can be all done for story time. Let's see. Let's do this one. When the leaf blew in. When the leaf blew in, the cow sneezed, "Achoo!" When the cow sneezed, "Achoo!" the spider landed on the owl. When the spider landed on the owl swooped out of the barn. When the owl swooped out of the barn, the pig dove into the mud. That page is missing. When the pig dove into the mud, the goat kicked over the bucket. When the goat kicked over the bucket, the chicken spun round and round. When the chicken spun round and round, the horse reared up and neighed. When the horse reared up and neighed, the sheep leaped over a barrel. When the sheep leaped over the barrel, the duck jumped into the pond. When the duck jumped into the pond, the frog hopped onto a lily pad. When the frog hopped onto the lily pad, the dragonfly buzzed across the sky. When the dragonfly buzzed across the sky, the dog woke up and chased the squirrel. I have a dog, and all he wants to do is chase squirrels. He is obsessed with squirrels. When the dog woke up and chased the squirrel, the robin flew out of the tree. When the robin flew out of the tree, the leaf blew in. And then they're all watching. That leaf caused kind of a crazy party, huh? Well, that is story time for this week. This week is farm week, so we learned all about farm animals, cows and horses and sheep and pigs and all the other animals. My favorite is a cow. If you have not watched Miss Megan's video yet, then you should go watch Miss Megan's reading video. We miss you guys so much, and we can't wait till we get to see you guys again.